Coming up next, Amsoil Championship Snowcross, powered by Ram. Round 4 from Jackson Hole, Wyoming, as the world's greatest snowcross racers take the challenge at the base of iconic Snow King Mountain. In Pro Light, Jacob Urich went flag to flag for an emotional victory. Can he repeat on the mighty mountain today? Will Tucker Hibbert continue his winning streak with his 4th victory in the pro class? The answer's next on the CBS Sports Network. Welcome to Jackson, Wyoming. What a beautiful sight with the mountains here. Everyone should visit this place sometime. Well, we're here to race as we're getting ready here at, of course, Snow King Mountain in Jackson Hole, Wyoming for the Amsoil Championship Snowcross powered by Ram. Welcome, everyone. My name's Mike Schroeder, joined by former racer Colby Crapo. Kate Osborne's also with us, and I'll tell you what, a demanding track. This round 4 has been awesome.
Absolutely. You know, you got some downhills, a little elevation, so it'll be exciting for these guys.
Sure was. Round 3 was exciting for sure. Let's take a look at some of the pro action of round 3. The Amsoil round 3 pro finals underway from Jackson Hole. And who's out front? Johan Liedman. There is Cody Camp. Now Cody Camp trying to get around Christopher Holm and move into 3rd place. He makes the pass. I'll tell you what, the way Cody Camp is charging, Logan's going to have to start driving defensively here soon. So Liedman's lead is definitely gone. So right now it's a 3-man race. Now I think he was able to get by Johan Liedman. So it is Logan Christian, your new race leader. Hibbert has gotten around now Johan Liedman. So Hibbert is going to be charging hard on the number 43. Lappers could come into play here. Oh, and Tucker dives down underneath. Tucker dived down underneath, was able to make the pass. What a racing move. And the number 68, Artie Cat of Tucker Hibbert sees double checkered. What a move by Tucker Hibbert. Colby, let's take a look at the pro points, the way they stand coming into round 4.
Yeah, so you got Tucker Hibbert, Cody Cam, and Logan Christian, and we've seen all 3 of those on the podium in last round.
Logan Christian currently in 3rd place in points. Let's go down to Kate Osborne, who's with Logan.
He was so close in round 3. Most people would have been happy with the 2nd, but how disappointed were you, really?
I was pretty frustrated. You know, I left the door open for Tucker on top of the hill, and he took it. I gave him an inch, and he took it, and that's what I would have done. That's what any racer would have done. And I didn't realize he was that close, and to have blocked him like I could have or should have would have made me go out of the main line, and I didn't know he was that close to do that and kind of screw up my rhythm. So he took the inside, and coming down the hill, I was pretty frustrated, but again, I was happy to be on the podium. We're sitting good in points. It's early in the season. We know we got the speed to be up front and up top and to prove to everybody that we belong up there.
The pro qualifiers coming up next here on the CBS Sports Network.
Amsoil Championship Snowcross powered by Ram. Jackson Snowcross National presented by Country Cat on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Amsoil. Protect your weekend. By Arctic Cat. Share our passion. By Ram Trucks. Proven to last. By Air Force. Aim high. And by Ski-Doo Snowmobiles. What matters is what's next.
A demanding racetrack here in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, the Snow King Mountain, all part of the Amsoil Championship Snowcross, powered by Ram. Tell you what, let's take a GoPro lap of the day, a racetrack that's changed from round 3 to round 4. We go across the Amsoil finish line right now, 38 degrees, feels like 24, almost no wind. Coming through turns 1 and 2, Colby, and then we shoot up the hill. You got to have some power here.
Absolutely. This has kind of proved to be a little bit of a drag race for these guys, really showing the horsepower of these sleds up the hill.
Sleds continue to work up the hill, and when they get to the top, they've got a very tight left-hand turn, but that sets them up for a couple of different options. on a downhill that's very challenging.
It is. This is a gnarly part of the track. You know, there's triples and doubles, and these guys have proved a bunch of different lines. A lot of action there tonight.
Come across the AMSOIL finish line, and that's a GoPro lap of the day. A very, very challenging track. Let's take a look at the qualifying lineup here in the pro class.
Yeah, and this qualifier, you know, it almost looks like a final. You got Logan Christian, Tucker Hibbert, and Cody Cam all in this qualifier.
So let's find out more. Let's go down trackside with Kate Osborne.
Well, being somebody who's been walking around this town, knowing that we're 6,200 feet above sea level, my thought is some of these guys would really be struggling with the stamina. However, in talking with Tucker Hibbert, a guy who's won 130 races within this series, said, actually, it's not as bad as one would think. He said it did take a lot to get from back to front in the final in round 3, but he's not hurting and as tired as he thought he would have been here today.
Up the hill they go. Round 1, Heat 2 Pro qualified. Oh, Hibbert almost off, headed sideways. Nostalgia out in front. And look at that. It is Logan Christian again, pulling him to the top of the hill.
Yeah, Logan's up front, Brett Nostalgia to the outside, and then it looks like Pauline's also kind of showing a nose there in third.
Yeah, Pauline sticking a nose in there. Tucker on the outside looks to be in about 5th right now as they come down the hill, doubling up the green flag out as they complete lap 1. It is Logan Christian, Brett Nostalgia, Kyle Pauline, Cody Cam in 4th, right behind him, and lurking Tucker Hibbert. Here's the start again. Watch Hibbert. He tries to cut. He will get skis tangled up, and look at that. The riders behind him, they crash. Tucker able to save it.
Yeah, it looked like Narsa and Corin were involved in that wreck, and I think in that bottom corner, Cam was actually able to get by Tucker for the 3rd place.
So watch Cam as he's doing a little different line. It's still Logan Christian out. There is Cam on the inside on the number 1 Polaris. He looks to get underneath Kyle Pauline, which he has done, and Pauline not going to give that position up easily. Look at Kyle, looks over his shoulder, tries to drag race him up the hill, but Cody Cam's going to win that battle.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about that downhill, and you can see that from Cam right there. He does a little bit of a different variation and is able to get by Pauline.
So now Cam scouting, watching closely. Logan Christian. Cam comes down underneath. It's Christian in the middle. Christian on the Artie Cat. Cam down underneath, a little more speed. They're bar to bar as they come down the hill. Who's going to grab the position? It looks like Cam able to move out front.
Yeah, Cam's able to just stay a little bit lower on that downhill and carry a little bit more momentum, and is able to basically put the same pass on Logan that he did on Pauline the lap before.
So Cody Cam out front, and look at Logan pull him uphill again. This is where the Arctic Cats were so strong in round number 3 on that uphill.
Yeah, the Arctic Cats, they have that 136 track, so they got a little bit more track than the Polarises, and it seems to really help these guys going up that hill.
Cody Cam down in front as he comes across the AMSOIL finish line to complete lap number 4. He is out front, and he's got about a 1.3 second lead over Logan Christian. And now Logan's going to battle as he goes up the hill again. There you see another battle. There is Tucker Hibbert and Kyle Pauline. You've got 2 great battles in the camera right there. Look at Cody on the top. Logan comes back down underneath. That is vintage Tucker Hibbert from last night. Watch him as they come down. Bar to bar, Logan charging a little harder. Cody got a little bit better line, though, down through the bottom part of the racetrack.
He did. Cody's just able to stay a little bit lower on that end, but there again, Logan was able to make the move back in front of Cody here, going up the hill.
Yeah, he just took the line away from Cody Cam, and now this is what Logan likes. Just let me get out front, let this Arctic Cat horsepower pull it up the hill.
And now we have Hibbert. He's really trying to make that move. He's showing Cody a little bit of love at the top of the hill there.
And I think there may have been a little love nudge up there. He let him know for sure that, hey, guess what? Number 68's behind you there, Cody. Here they come, down the hill again. It's still Logan Christian out front. Cody Cam sitting in second. Tucker railing around the outside.
There we see the 2 different lines on this bottom. So Tucker trying to work that outside with Cam sticking more to the inside line there.
Boy, and you can tell Tucker just added chrome there. That throttle all the way to the handlebars, tucked his head down, trying to do everything he can to try to get as much speed out of that sled as possible. Top side, Tucker goes high. Cody stays down underneath. There you see your leader out front. It's still Logan Christian. This is the battle for 2-3.
Yeah, there we see a little bit different variation, man. These guys are trying all sorts of different lines down this hill. And then there again in this corner, Tucker to the outside and Cody on this inside.
Let's see how Cody fares here. Cody Tucker Hibbert trying to race up the hill. It's Cam in position right now. Watch Tucker as he goes up. He's really crafty here. Tries to duck down underneath. He tried that last night. Didn't work here this time on Cody Cam.
Yeah, we've seen him make that exact pass on Logan in the final last night on the very last corner, trying to make the same thing work for Cam on that.
Down the hill they come. All positioning as they go down in the corner. 2 laps left to go. 2 to go. It's still Logan Christian out front. Cody Cam and then Tucker Hibbert.
Yeah, and as these guys are battling, you know, Tucker, he's really pushing on Cody, and they've closed the gap to 0.4 of a second behind Logan Christian.
Logan covering, and you know that tonight
and
he
Tucker,
is just staying close inside.
Tucker was able to get Cody on the top of that hill. Get pushed a little bit wide there.
Yeah, and watch Cody charge back down the hill. I was going to say as Tucker went a little deep. So it is still going to be Cam. Tucker charging hard in third. 1 lap left to go. The white flag. Here's Hibbert on the outside again, carrying as much speed as he can. Cody looks over his right shoulder, and it's another drag race up the hill. There you see Logan Christian out front. Cody Cam in second. Tucker charging hard on the outside. Going to try to slot underneath. Let's see what Cody does.
Looks like Tucker is able to get around Cody at the top, so we'll see if Tucker can keep it down the hill.
So it's Logan Christian out front, bringing it down, and the double checkers await him. Winner of Heat 2, Round 1, Logan Christian. Tucker Hibbert holds on for second. Cody Cam for third. Kyle Pauline in fourth. Wow, what a qualifying heat. Up the hill they go. Round 1, Heat 2 Pro qualifying. Oh, Hibbert almost off. Headed sideways. Nostalgia out in front. Scouting, watching closely. Logan Christian. Cam comes down underneath. It's Christian in the middle. Christian on the Artie Cat. Cam down underneath. A little more speed. They're bar to bar as they come down the hill. Who's going to grab the position? It looks like Cam able to move out front. Watch them as they come down. Bar to bar, Logan charging a little harder. And Christian out front, bringing it down, and the double checkers await him. Winner of Heat 2, Round 1.
That lineup on the start line looked like it could have been a final. Logan, what statement were you making winning that heat?
Just to prove last night wasn't a fluke. My snowmobile's working awesome. I can't thank my team, Christian Brothers Jason, enough. I go back, refuel with some docking, get ready for round 2. I'm feeling great. Sled's working awesome. Track's a lot of fun.
Let's take a look at the way they finished up in the Pro Qualifier. What a battle between a couple of Artie Cats.
Absolutely. Was this a final or a heat? You know, you got Logan Christian, Tucker Hibbert, and Cody Cam all battling in this one.
It was a great heat, no doubt about it. Well, we've got more racing coming up next, right here on the CBS Sports Network. Welcome back to Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Snow King Mountains, where we're at for the AMSOIL Championship Snowcross, powered by Ram Trucks. You know, these race teams are huge. They carry a lot of equipment, a lot of sleds, and I'll tell you what, these haulers are pretty cool. In the pits at an ISOC race, they're hard to miss. Massive $1 million big rigs, a complete garage on wheels.
Days can get long.
World's greatest snowcross racers need the world's greatest trucks.
Inside the trailers, the best mechanics in the biz prep the sleds for the next race.
The rigs are really something very expensive, very hard to keep clean. You really have to keep it organized. If you get unorganized, it turns into a real big mess in a real big hurry.
For the race teams, the big rigs become a home away from home, a place for a hot meal, a break from the intensity of race day. And for the drivers of the big rigs, plenty of pride in what they do.
If you're running on this series or any type of series for that matter, whether it's Supercross, NASCAR, Snowcross, you're here for the love of the sport, and you gotta have passion. That's what keeps you here.
What a great racetrack. It's going to be put to the test. Coming up next, the Pro Light Final, right here on the CBS Sports Network. Welcome to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, home of the $1 Million Cowboy Bar. Boy, I'd love to have that thing in my basement, no doubt about it. All the money that's in that thing. Well, welcome to a racetrack that's been challenging here at Snow King Mountain in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. The AMSOIL Championship Snowcross, powered by Ram. Welcome, everyone. My name's Mike Schroeder, joined by former racer Colby Crapo and Kate Osborne, who's out trackside. It's been some great racing here. Very challenging. Let's go back, though, and review what happened in the last round of Pro Light Racing. The Pro Light final is green here at the Jackson Hole Snowcross National. Big hole shot for Jacob Urich. Early leader as he comes across the Amsoil finish line. Look at Benham charge on the inside. Benham trying to duck down underneath in that number 1 and 2 corner. Kellstrom taking the lap on the outside, and it looks like Benham who's got position. He just found some speed on the inside. That line worked better for him that time, and that puts Benham, as we said, up in second place. There is Benham. Benham working, trying everything he can do to try to make up the distance, that 3-second differential between he and your race leader, Jacob Urich. Jacob Urich, could he lead this flag to flag? This would be a huge, huge win for Jacob Urich. Down the U.S. Air Force flyaway, double checkers await him as he comes across, and your winner is Jacob Urich. So let's take a look at the point standings going into the Pro Light final.
Yeah, so we got Jacob Urich leading, Daniel Benham in second. Both of these guys have some wins. Both of them look excellent.
Boy, that points battle very, very close. Right now, let's go down to Kate Osborne, who's with your points leader, Jake Urich.
Well, rider who had one of the best reactions to a win I've ever heard was Jacob Urich, saying that it was the happiest moment of your life. Why was that win in round 3 so important to you?
Well, the last year and a half I've been through a lot of ups and downs, more downs than ups. So came into this season with kind of an open mind and just really thankful that it happened, and it's just huge for me.
Just about ready for the Pro Light final. Let's line them up. Here's the front row.
Okay, so we got Daniel Benham qualifying first, Jacob Urich qualifying second. Both of these guys look excellent tonight.
And let's go to the back row.
One guy we're not used to seeing back here, Zach Mason, had one real good qualifier and one not so good, so we'll see where he can go from the back.
Let's go down trackside right now with Kate Osborne.
Well, it's no secret that seat time is advantageous for these riders, but it's not just about testing, it's also about being in race mode. Zach Mason, Travis Moeller, and Evan Doubt ran a Minnesota regional after Duluth in order to get into that racing mindset.
And the Pro Light final is green at the Jackson Hole Snowcross National. Benham out front. We can again repeat, the Artie Cats so strong.
Yeah, absolutely. We see Benham, Martin Mullen, and Jacob Urich, all three on Cats in the top 3 there in the start.
So they move through the top part of the racetrack, everybody making it through cleanly. Benham, your race leader, as he comes down to cross the Amsoil finish line for the first time. Here's the start once again. Look at everybody fighting, but Benham just like a rocket out of there.
Yeah, he got a great launch and then was able to get out through that top corner cleanly.
And we already talk about Snowduck starting to hang here. It's Benham out front, then Urich, Mullen, Coutu in 4th, Telfer and Berglund. Those are your top 6 sleds.
It's shaping up to be an excellent battle. All 3 of these guys here have been so fast all weekend long, so this could shape up for a great final.
And a yellow on the downhill, meaning that they have to slow down and can't pass in that area. Boy, that makes it hard for a driver. But your race leader continues to be Benham. He continues to work the inside. Urich, then Mullen and Telfer. Now Coutu down to 5th, and Alex Berglund up to 6th.
Yeah, and here we see your leader. He's headed back up the hill. So right now there's no lappers. He's still got clean vision, so he needs to just put clean laps, check out while he can.
1.5-second lead he has over these 2 racers right here. Jake Urich in 2nd place. Your winner in round 3, right behind him, Martin Mullen. What a great battle between 2 Artie Cat drivers. Let's go down to Kate Osborne.
One thing that we're seeing differently in Jake Urich here this season than last is a mentality change. He said this summer was so important. He rode dirt bikes, he worked construction with his dad, and he went fishing with friends. And he came in as a new rider because he felt last year he was putting a little too much pressure on himself. He said ultimately the goal for this year is to have fun.
Well, fun he's having. He had a great time in round 3. I talked to him today, very relaxed, excited, very appreciative of us, thanking him and congratulating him on his win. Looks good right here, but there's your race leader again. That is Daniel Benham, and Benham now with about a 2.5-second lead.
Yeah, another thing on Urich we talked about, he got the win last night, and sometimes that's all you know. You get that monkey off your back, gives you a whole nother breath of confidence going into the next day.
Getting by a lapper at the top part of the racetrack. Meanwhile, we go back up front, and again, there you see Benham. Benham working his way down the downhill. Going across the AMSOIL finish line. Let's set the interval this time. Boy, he put a whole second between he and the rest of the field that last lap. Benham is on a tear.
He is, and as I've watched these guys, they're all taking this inside line on the bottom corner. So we'll look and see if as this race develops, they start moving that line to the outside.
Benham goes to the top side once again, and you talked about visibility. Again, that camera shot not showing a lot of snow dust right now. That could pick up the closer he gets to some of these lappers. Down the field he comes. The green flag still out. There you see him now, this time staying to the inside. And as we look, we see Benham now with a 3.8 second lead over Europe.
Yeah, and as we look there, Daniel Benham does have the best lap by 30.7 seconds.
So we watch them as they continue to go around the racetrack. It is still Benham out in front. Now let's watch a little deeper in the field. This is Telfer. Telfer on the 144 Skidoo out of Warner Brother Racing. He's sitting in 4th place, trying to make a run on the 3rd place Artie Cat Martin Mullen. And right behind him, you see Cole Coutu, and that is, I believe, one of the Anderson sleds trying to follow. Nope, that is Coutu. So those drivers sitting in 4th and 5th, they're trying to charge up through the field.
Yeah, Cole will be an interesting guy to watch. He hasn't had the greatest of starts, but he's been very strong in these finals, especially later on. So he'll be a guy to watch as this main continues.
Well, you've seen the ruse. Cole is ducking down, trying to get as low as he could between that, behind that low windshield, as that snow roost just really beating on him.
Yeah, that's a great example of what's really going on for these guys. You know, we say blind. Literally, they can't see anything when they're right behind these other sleds.
Well, look at Coutu, and Telfer looks over his shoulder. Coutu's got position. He stays to the inside. Telfer goes outside. Coutu trying to sweep around. I think he's got him.
I do too. I think this inside line right now is a little quicker. As we just seen right there, he was able to completely shut the door on Max going around that corner.
You know, and you wouldn't think that. It's a lot rougher. You would think on the outside you'd really be able to carry a lot more speed. That doesn't appear to be the case.
No, I honestly am surprised. It looks a little bit rougher, but he is a little quicker on the inside.
So that is the battle for 4th place. Cole Coutu on the 21 Polaris and Max Telfer on the 144 Skidoo. Boy, now he's starting to pull away as we watch them continue to work laps here and starting to count down the laps. Let's go back up front. Your race leader still Daniel Benham. 5 laps left to go. Now with a little over a 4-second lead on 2nd place, Jake Urich. It'll be Mullen in 3rd place. So the interesting story here, we still got 3 Artie Cats on the podium.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we see these screen now, you can see these leaders are starting to come into this snowdock as they catch up to these lappers.
Travis Kern looked over his shoulder. He's one of the lappers having a problem, sitting back at 12. There is your race leader. Continues to make ways around this racetrack, looking very, very solid. Let's go down again to Kate Osborne.
You're right, Mike. He is looking exceptionally solid. He got 1st in round 2, 2nd in round 3, and Pro Lights is one of these classes that really the person who's going to win the championship is that person who's consistently in the top 5. And right now tonight, Daniel Benham is doing all he can to be 1st in championship points.
Benham coming into some traffic, needing to just make sure that he's got clean lines as he works through here. And as you indicated, Colby, visibility a little bit of an issue. There we see the number 75. That's Martin Mullen. Mullen sitting in 3rd place. Boy, look at the lappers he's got to go through.
He is, and I believe that's the 2nd place of Jacob Urich right there. So he's really close, and he just made the pass on Urich coming down the hill.
Boy, Urich had it going one way, then the other way, was able to gather it back up, but lost 2nd place. Still sits on the podium, but now sitting in 3rd place.
Yeah, Martin, he's just been clicking off laps, staying super consistent. Urich made a little mistake, and he capitalized on it.
2 laps left to go as they continue circuits around a very demanding racetrack here at Jackson, Wyoming at Snow King Mountain. Up the hill goes Mullen. Mullen is now in 2nd place. He's about 7 seconds behind your race leader, but still charging hard as Urich trying to make up some ground. White flag is out. 1 lap left to go for your race leader, Daniel Benham. There he goes. He's come through 1 and 2. He's got to make the uphill one more time and then down that very risque downhill part of the racetrack. Up to the top, through the Skidoo and the FXR corners. He will square away. just about 200 feet yet to go. He's got the rhythm section here, doubling up again. He sees the double checkered flags. Will he take the win? He does. Daniel Benham, your number 1 qualifier, taking the win here in the Pro Light Final. A good run for him. Fist in the air, a big hand pump. Martin Mullen comes across in 2nd place. Jake Urich in 3rd, and 4th place Cole Coutu. But the podium is all Artie Cat. Let's take a break. We're right here on the CBS Sports Network. And the Pro Light Final is green at the Jackson Hole Snowcross National. Benham out front. Race leader continues to be Benham. He continues to work the inside. Let's set the interval this time. Boy, put a whole second between he and the rest of the field that last lap. Benham is on a tear. He sees the double checkered flags. Will he take the win? He does. Daniel Benham, your number 1 qualifier, taking the win here.
Well, you had the Pertec fast lap of that event, and you even said, hey, kind of felt easy out there, but we have seen a different rider in you. What was your big motivation here in round 4, comparatively speaking?
You know, I just try and be better today than I was yesterday, and Artie Cat, it's a wonderful machine, and Speedworks got off to a great start, and it just made the rest of the race easy for me.
It was a Pro Light Final that was fun to watch, and the interesting thing, an Artie Cat sweep on the podium.
Yeah, so Daniel Benham getting his second win of the season, and Jacob Urich getting his 2nd consecutive podium.
It'll be fun to watch. Coming up next, the Pro Final. All next, right here on the CBS Sports Network.
AMSOIL Championship Snowcross, powered by Ram Jackson Snowcross National, presented by Country Cat on CBS Sports Network, is sponsored by AMSOIL. Protect your weekend. By Polaris, Terrain Domination. By Pertec, Hydraulic and Industrial Hose Service. And by Sunoco, fueling victories.
Hibbert right in the middle, trying to make the whole shot up the hill. Doesn't work out front, and it looks like it's the number 610. That is Christopher Holm, watching every move that Holm makes, just waiting for the opportunity to get around him. Right there it was. Cannot give him an inside line. You can't even let him get a ski under you. Double checkered flags. Tucker Hibbert takes the win. It's been an exciting day of qualifying. This is the way the points look going into the Pro Final.
So Tucker Hibbert still with the lead, but Logan Christian has been looking really strong right there in the 3rd place position.
Speaking of Logan Christian, let's go down to Josie Christian, who's got a pit report.
Thanks, guys. I'm in the pits, and it's time to catch up with Lucky Lincoln Lemieux, number 13 from Shearing Speed Sports. It may seem like he's a quiet, mellow person, but on the track, he's super demanding, and he's still on the hunt to win a championship.
I'm Lincoln Lemieux. I race Skidoo for Shearing Speed Sports. You know, we got a new sled. We worked out some bugs. We got that dialed in.
Lincoln is kind of like me on the track. You know, he's never going to give up. He's pretty quick on the starts.
You know what's cool about Lincoln? He never gets intimidated. He has the same mentality. He's like, I'm going to beat them all.
You know, I train extremely hard every year. This is my only job. This is what I focus all my time and energy on. So I'm gonna make the most of it and hopefully get a championship.
So this is the way they line up for the Pro Final.
Okay, so Logan Christian won both of his qualifiers. He's got the number 1 pick there in the front row.
Let's look at the back row, and a name that we're not seeing either in the front row or the back row, Tim Tremblay.
Yeah, absolutely. Tim had an off. He's injured, so he won't be making the final tonight.
Tough break. We hope that he'll be okay. Right now, let's go down to Kate Osborne, who's trackside.
Well, Hench's Racing is a team that has consistently had both of their riders in the top 5 in championship points. Nate Henches said earlier today a lot of it has to do with the chemistry between Cody Kim and Peter Narsa. They feed off of each other's strengths, they have similar riding styles, and they're roommates. He said it's a friendly competition and has one rule for them: don't take each other out.
The Round 4 AMSOIL Pro Finals underway from Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Who's got the whole shot? Look at Hibbert on the inside. But is that...
looks like the 52 of
52
Johan
of
Lidman again.
Man, Lidman was strong last night. Look at Tucker. He's not going to waste any time tonight.
No.
He wants that lead. He's down underneath.
Absolutely, and there's the number 1 of Cam right there in second behind Tucker.
So, Tucker out front early on. He loves to get out front and then kind of just say, come catch me if you can. Cody Cam's going to do exactly that as he slots into second. Lidman in third, Logan Christian in fourth, Nastala, Pauline. Those are your top 6 drivers.
Yeah, this has kind of been the race we've all wanted. You know, Tucker out front and Cam in second.
Boy, look at that crash as they transitioned. And that is Lincoln Lemieux, so not a good night for Shearing Speed Sports. Lincoln back up to get to his sled, but yet a tough break for the number 13 Skidoo driver.
Yeah, always good to see him get up after something like that.
So we continue to count down laps. It's Hibbert on the inside. Cam will go the inside also. Then it's Christian along with Lidman in fourth. So Logie's moved his way up to the podium. And we see that Cody Cam now about 1.7 seconds behind the number 68 Artie Cat.
Yeah, so just looking at the lap times right here, Tucker does have the fastest lap time with a 32.15.
Up the hill they go. It's still Hibbert out front. There you see the third place sled of Logan Christian. Green flag continuing to fly. Right behind Christian is Pauline sitting in fourth place, and that's Lidman in fifth. Those two guys got a pretty good battle going on. Of course, Pauline on the Polaris, Lidman on the Artie Cat.
Yeah, and Pauline, he hasn't had the rounds that he's looking for, so you know he's very hungry for a podium. He's definitely a podium guy.
You know, he's a great guy, too, and if you got to look at anybody that's really frustrated about what they've been able to accomplish through the first 3 rounds, it's got to be Kyle Pauline. I mean, he hasn't had a podium yet.
No, he hasn't, and it's so untypical for him. You know, they work hard. Him, the Lavallee team, they have a great team. Oh, and he goes off in the corner there, so another tough break for Pauline.
So we go back up, and there you see the number 43. That's Logan Christian. Christian sitting in third, and as you indicated, Pauline was behind him. We'll follow up on that story. But Logie trying to make up some ground on Cody Cam and holding on to that third place finish. Points are important, and of course finishes are huge too, as Logie brings it back down the hill. Let's go back up front. There is Tucker Hibbert, rails around that number 68 Artie Cat, the red plates indicating that he's the points leader and looking pretty smooth.
Yeah, and this is why he's the points leader. Looking here, he's got already a 4-second gap over Cam, and Cam is not an easy guy to gap, so Tucker is really on it this weekend.
So Tucker works it down the downhill, will complete another lap, and let's go down to Kate Osborne.
Well, one big difference between Tucker Hibbert and Cody Cam sleds right now is that Tucker right now has those longer tracks. The Arctic Cat is known to really be an advantageous with that. He said that really helps with the starts and on the uphill. It has really good traction. Some of the downsides can be the steering and turning, but he said that's only in particular conditions. He says the long tracks really help here in Jackson Hole. And Colby, I know that we were talking about this earlier. You can really add to that.
Yeah, and like she said, Colby, that's a real fine balancing act, isn't it?
Absolutely, it really is. You know, the 136, it's working well for them, but there is a couple of downsides. You know, it's more weight, so you got to have that motor to be able to pull it, and it does want to push a little bit more in the corners. So they obviously have this thing working very well to where the pros are definitely outweighing the cons.
I was going to say, Tucker's definitely got that balance line figured out as he's out front right now with almost a 6-second lead over the rest of the field. We were all wondering if Cody Cam was going to be able to catch Tucker Hibbert and give him a run for the money. It doesn't appear that way. There you see Cody right now, like we said, almost 6 seconds off the mark, making his way down the downhill, and a yellow flag out. Got to check up here. That don't help his cause at all as he comes across the finish line to complete another lap. You seen anything in Cody's riding style?
No, I'm really not. You know, Cody, we're saying how good Tucker is, and Cody is an excellent rider. So, you know, taking nothing away from him, Tucker's just on the gas. But, you know, Cam as well has looked great all weekend long.
Goes to the top side. We'll take an edge around that corner, working into lappers now. That is your second place sled right there. Cody Cam out of Kenosha, Wisconsin on the Henches Racing Pertec Monster Energy Polaris. Let's go back up front. Speaking of Monster Energy, this is a monster rider. Tucker Hibbert goes uphill again as we continue to count down laps. We have 13 laps to go, so not quite halfway through, but Tucker looking very solid. That Artie Cat He's picking right up where he left off in round 3.
Yeah, Tucker is looking great. And as we watch Cam down that last downhill there, he seemed to find a little bit of a line. So Tucker needs to make sure he's good down that downhill.
Well, we'll watch the differential. It was a little over 5.5 seconds last time. And this time as Cody comes across the stripe, it's about 5.8 seconds. So really, Cody didn't make up any ground. Matter of fact, lost just a skosh. Tucker Hibbert still out in front on the uphill, just doing what he does so well, getting out front and making the rest of the field chase him and try to catch him and pass him, which is nearly impossible when he's out front.
He is, and as we see him coming down the hill, so he's into the lap traffic, so that makes him adjust his line a little bit. So, you know, Tucker needs to get through these guys and then just keep putting laps down.
Cross flag, so we're halfway through, 11 laps left to go. Tucker looks over his shoulder because really when you take a look at where second and third place are, they're quite a ways behind him. He wants to know where they're at though, right? We're coming back up to 52. That's Lidman. Lidman's sitting in fourth place. He's about 8 seconds behind Logan Christian. So for Lidman to get on the podium here tonight, he's really got to have a drive.
Absolutely. You know, last night he was so close to getting to the podium. He actually led a good majority of that race and then fell back to fourth, but was ever so close to that podium.
So you see him go up the hill. Of course, again, he's coming back, racing in the United States again this year on the Arctic Cat, looking to be very strong as he comes through down the downhill. He's got a lot of work to do, though, if he wants to try to finish on top or in one of those podium finishes.
Yeah, as we look at his gap, he's got about a 9-second gap between Logan. So like you said, he's got a lot of work to be able to get on that podium tonight.
Logan Christian still sitting in third place, just ahead of Lidman. Logan working hard, trying to make up some ground, and as we go back up front, there is Tucker Hibbert. Hibbert continuing to mount a battle here and put more distance between he and the rest of the field. Exactly what he's doing, now sitting on almost an 8.5-second lead over the rest of the field. I mean, this guy is just incredible.
He is. He's unbelievable. I'm not sure if Cam got caught in some lappers or what there, but he lost almost 2 seconds that lap to Tucker. So maybe he's getting into those lappers a little bit.
And so let's look at Logan Christian. Logan had a pretty decent start. He's sitting in third place right now, and he's been battling, trying to make up ground on that second place sled of Cody Cam. He did last lap. He made up about a half a second. Logi's got time. He may get to that second position on the podium.
Yeah, and he had some excellent qualifying runs. You know, Logan, the only guy today to win both qualifiers. So, you know, he's just trying to keep that momentum going for the day.
There you see him working through turns 1 and 2. He'll take and circle on the inside, point that Doc Arctic Cat on the uphill. And as we've said all weekend long, his mechanic, Betsy, she's got this sled just dialed in as he pulls hard on the up part of the hill. And we'll be working in the lap traffic here very shortly. Corn Todd letting him by. Nice racing move there by Corn.
Yeah, we've talked about, you know, Tucker's kind of already gone by, cleared all those laps. So now the lappers they're ready for these other guys, and Corin doing, you know, the respectable thing, getting out of the way.
And I want to go back. There you see Tucker Hibbert, but one more thing about Logan Christian. He shaved off another half second between he and Cody Cam. But your race leader right there, Tucker Hibbert, now with a 7.42 second lead over the rest of the field. So, you know, Tucker's probably just backing off a bit. And, you know, Cody's still charging hard, trying to get up there.
Yeah, for sure. As you watch Tucker on that, he's running the very, very far outside line, just trying to find a little bit of smoother line coming down that hill.
6 laps left to go. There you see the number 1 sled, and there is your race leader. That is, of course, the 68 Arctic Cat of Tucker Hibbert. Through the top part of the corner. Squares. Back down. There is the number 1. Cody Cam still trying to make up ground. Last time it was just a skosh over 7 seconds. Let's see what the differential is this time. Tucker's already gone across that Amsoil finish line. Cody comes across. They lost about a half a second. But let's look at Logie. Logie, again, picked up about another half a second on that second place sled right there of Cody Cam. So, can he catch him? We'll soon find out. But Cam keeps charging, trying to shave off time, trying to catch Tucker Hibbert. And again, we talk about this. Tucker's had issues before on the racetrack where he's had an off, you know, or something like that. You've always got to hope that something like that happens ahead of you where you can charge.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Cam, any mistake, Tucker can certainly make a mistake. And Cam, he just needs to keep riding his race and at least keep Tucker in check.
So you see him as he works through the bottom part of the racetrack, continuing to count down laps. Cody Camp chasing that driver right there. He's already at the top of the hill. He'll make the square around the FXR corner, square away, come down. That very rhythmic section is really getting rutted out. The U.S. Air Force flyaway section, and across the AMSOIL finish line to complete another lap. So we're down to 3 laps left to go for Tucker Hibbert to make again another sweep here again in round 4 here in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Up he goes. No traffic around him right now. He's got some lappers, but they're quite a ways ahead of him. Well, he caught them in a hurry, didn't he? Trying to get underneath Peter Narsa. That would be Cody Cam's teammate. You would have thought Peter may have been a little blocker there, but a nice racing move working the outside so that he can get by.
Yeah, and you know, Tucker, he's getting by Narsa and Renheim in the screen, so that's coming up to lap the 6th and 7th place guys.
2 laps left to go. Hibbert down through the bottom part of the racetrack. 2 more times he needs to go up the uphill. You see him there finding the line, moving his sled from side to side, looking for good lines, staying tight inside yet. Let's go back to 3rd place. There is Logan Christian. Logan now about 4 seconds behind Cody Cam for that 2nd position. So Logie falling off the pace just a bit when it comes to trying to place in 2nd.
These top 3 guys, Mike, they really kind of separated themselves from the field. From 3rd to 4th is an 18-second gap.
White lap, final lap for Tucker Hibbert. This is where he made the big move in round 3. Right now, all he's got to do is make a good circuit around here, and it'll be a sweep for him in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, here at the Jackson Hole Snowcross National. Down the hill he comes, doubling up a little bit. He sees the finish line right in tow. The double checkered flags are ready, and Tucker Hibbert makes it a sweep here in Jackson Hole at the Jackson Hole Snowcross National, presented by Country Cat. Another mammoth run for the number 68 Artie Cat, and a big win for him. It's Cam in 2nd and Christian in 3rd. We'll be back in just a couple of moments here on the AMSOIL Championship Snowcross, powered by Ram on the CBS Sports Network. The round 4 AMSOIL Pro Finals underway from Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Who's got the whole shot? Look at Hibbert on the inside. But is that...
looks like the 52 of Johan Lidman again.
Look at Tucker. He's not going to waste any time tonight.
No.
He wants that lead. He's down underneath. The red plates indicating that he's the points leader and looking pretty smooth. Now sitting on almost an 8.5-second lead over the rest of the field. He sees the finish line right in tow. The double checkered flags are ready, and Tucker Hibbert makes it a sweep here in Jackson Hole.
Another event weekend sweep for Tucker Hibbert. You are 4 for 4 here in this season. I think it's safe to say we're kind of seeing a different racer in you than we saw last season. But according to you, outside of the sled, what is the major difference for you?
You know, I just feel good. I'm happy. I'm having fun. I got a great team, great group of people that support me, and we love to have fun. We love to win more than anything. Maybe we hate to lose more than anything.
Another fun final in the pro class. This is the way they ended up, Colby.
Yeah, so Tucker Hibbert getting his 4th win of the season, and Logan Christian again finishing strong on the podium.
Big finish for some of those drivers. This is the way the points look after the final.
Yeah, so Tucker, he's kind of lengthened that lead up just a little bit, and Cam sitting in the 2nd place position.
It'll be fun to watch all year long. A lot of events yet. We hope that you follow us on social media. Join us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or visit us on the web at snowcross.com. You know what? We've got a lot of events coming up. We're off now for the holidays, but rejoin us on January 5th and 6th at Shakopee, Minnesota for the Pertex Snowcross Nationals presented by Jimmy John's. Then we go back to Deadwood, South Dakota, and then in the middle of February, we'll be back in Salamanca, New York. A couple of more events to join us at Mount Pleasant, Michigan, the end of February. First part of March will be in Dubuque, Iowa, and we'll wrap everything up again March 16th through the 18th at Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Here's a way you can find our TV schedule. For more information, make sure you visit us on our website at snowcross.com. You know what? We've had a great time. Great racing here in Jackson Hole. And I want to thank all the people here that have made this weekend so much fun. So for Colby Crapo, Kate Osborne, and our entire crew, I'm Mike Schroeder. This has been a presentation of the CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.